Who did Paris better?
Epcot?
Or Paris? We are here to figure that out. And we're also going to be answering all of your questions about Disneyland Paris and Paris in general, because we just went there. We got a lot of questions about all of it. So we're going to put it all together and make one sick vlog where we do it all. Let's go.
Let's go get a croissant.
Breakfast culture in Paris is this. You wake up, you go to your favorite patisserie or boulangerie, you get a pastry,
and
then
espresso.
You smoke a bunch of cigarettes. And we're all out of cigarettes. So today we're going to Epcot's La Haye.
I will not be going there because they only have macaroons for me. And Paris has a million croissant, baguettes, and treats for me. There's a macaroon. So I will not be eating here.
When I was out there, I tried a bunch of pastries that I knew that they had here at Epcot, and I filmed all of it and reviewed it. So we're going to be doing side-by-side comparisons of how these pastries hold up against Paris's pastries and see if you're actually getting the real thing while you're here. Let's get into it. I feel like we've eaten at La Haye 100 times, but now we have some fresh perspective.
A little perspective.
That's a Ratatouille reference if you didn't get it. I think we have some really good-looking stuff and we have some really sad-looking stuff. I would like to first start with this croissant. This is a depressing-looking croissant. Even before I went to France, I've had a lot of really good croissants. I like Dominique Ansel. He's a famous French pastry chef. And like the first sign of an excellent croissant, or just even passable, is like a crispy exterior. And here we have the Costco squish. It's very sad and doughy and soft. And
Wait, I would love that though. Why is that bad? I feel like that's what you want, no? You want it to be, it has like, you want flaky and soft, right? You want crispy?
Not crispy like it's been pan fried, but like we shouldn't be able to do this and not hear something.
Oh.
Yeah.
That looks like great to me. Maybe because all gluten-free bread is not soft and squishy, it's just stale and hard. So that just looks like heaven.
No, this is not. This is not good. And then we'll open up the middle. We'll see what the inside is like. Obviously, you want to see a bunch of
layers, right?
Buttery layers, yeah. Which we have. Well, sort of. It's kind of a hollow. Oh, it's because I tore it out. Yeah, no, that's okay. And for taste, we want uber buttery.
No?
No, it's very plain.
Really?
It's not bad. It's not like, I wouldn't say a flat Costco 0, but like out of 5, it's like a 1. So I would say if your first experience with a croissant is here, not accurate.
But is it good?
No, I wouldn't get it.
It's not good.
Next, baguette. This is basically an accessory for my baguette bag.
He did, while we were in Paris, literally just buy full baguettes just to literally carry it around in that bag. I'm not lying.
Well, and I eat it all day. It's like every little while I would just like take it out and take 2 bites and then you put it back.
Look at that.
This baguette is warm and fresh, which I love. It was warm, it was just sitting out. This is a decent looking baguette. The exterior is perfect. I do love that. A big thing in France is butter. This is butter from Cheney Premier Farms. If you're not familiar, that would be the Cheney Brothers Incorporated, CBI, which is like the distributor of foods for like Ale House in Orlando. So this butter is not going to be anything to write home about. I will say, this looks like a perfect baguette.
That's better than the croissant, for real?
A million times better than the croissant. If you're coming to Epcot to get bread, do not get that. Get this. It'll last you all day.
That's true.
And baguettes are amazing because literally just a little bit of butter, and this is like the best snack ever. I'm getting this baguette again. Just sounds like me. So good.
I have this, a macaron. Which one's correct? Macaron. And I'm not gonna eat it like a sandwich. This is gonna go everywhere. So we're gonna take half of it. We're just gonna create our own like little spread. Whoa, that broke really easily. Oh, it was still a mess. It was fine.
That doesn't look good. I'll be honest with you.
It was fine.
I think you were bold in the first place for trying it.
I wanted something. I'm starving. It was fine. It wasn't bad.
Every Sunday, don't know what it is, way before France. This is just a weird Sunday fixation I have. I just try and go find a ham and cheese on a baguette. I just love ham and cheese baguettes. Don't know why, don't know where it came from. It just happened one day. I've never had this one here, but I'm excited because the baguette's obviously good. I'm assuming these are just like, again, like Cheney Brothers ham and cheese, so this is gonna be extremely whatever. It definitely tastes like prepackaged meat, unfortunately. Honestly, I'm probably skipping it. I'm just gonna get the baguette. However, if you need a quick breakfast, I think you could get it. I would probably get this again. I would definitely get the baguette again. I would certainly not get another croissant here, though.
Oh, I would not get this again. I'd get this again. Is it easy to understand the menu if everything's in French, or is it in English? The answer is it's definitely mostly in French, but they, like the name of the thing you're ordering, but then the description is usually always in English. I would say there's only 1 or 2 places we went to where I'm like, I literally have no idea what is on this menu, but we just would take a picture of it on the Translate app and it would tell you exactly what it is. It was super easy. Like, we never, ever had an issue with, like, what am I ordering?
And that was in Paris. At Disneyland Paris, it's like everything is in English. If it's not, every cast member speaks English. But I would say I did like no Duolingo. I did no prep. I only learned like, please, thank you, hello, goodbye.
I learned I have a gluten allergy. Do you speak English? Have a nice day.
Yeah, do you speak English? Like super, 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 just the basics. And the whole trip was like totally lost.
So nice. Why was the food so disappointing? Let me just go ahead and clear. The food was disappointing in Disneyland Paris. In Paris, I hate so good, it's not even funny. But the food was so disappointing for me on my end. Finding gluten-free food was literally like finding a needle in a haystack. It was so hard. Now, I do know there were like pre-packaged gluten-free or vegan food you could get every quick service, but it was not the vibe. It did not look good. I literally would have rather starved than eat some of that pre-packaged food, and I did. I mostly starved. However, I did find 1 or 2 things that were really good, like the crepe station. They were able to do it on buckwheat crepes for me, and they had savory and sweet crepes. So I just kept going back to that station literally like 3 or 4 times a day. And once I found that, I was like good to go. But it was just so disappointing, and like how I was starving. But for him, it just wasn't good option. It just wasn't good food.
Yeah, to me, like the food program at Disneyland Paris, it's like theme parky. It reminds me of like what you think a theme park would have. Where I feel like here at Disney World, they put, obviously in the last like 6 years, so much effort into like...
And like themed to like each location. Where over there, it was like random stuff. Like in a random land in Fantasyland, it's like, oh, here's Doritos topped with like a bunch of things.
Or chicken gyro.
Yeah, it was like not the right like themes everywhere. It was weird.
Everything is meant to be like low cost, churn and burn guests as quickly as you can through a line.
It was like hot dogs and burgers, which is good.
And again, just like super theme park stuff. And then like even little things like the Mickey bars out there. Like I did not like the taste of their Mickey bars. One thing everyone was telling us was that Mickey bars here are better. That's not the truth. That is not the case. It's not even close.
No, this tastes like real vanilla bean ice cream.
Yes, sure. This is
Ours tastes like fake artificial vanilla ice cream, which I'm not gonna lie, I liked it better.
So again, we did all of like the quick service park food. A lot of people have told us that you have to do the sit downs and the dine-ins. That's where it's good.
Well, we did do that.
We did do $100 per person buffet. That was also not good at all.
It was mostly seafood, and so I think that's what you're paying for, is like the seafood part of it all. We're not big seafood people unless it's sushi and raw.
Even the regular stuff wasn't good. All that to say, like
fine.
none of it was really great. And I could understand what some people were saying. I did look through some of the menus in some of the places, and they did seem interesting.
Not more than here. I should have saved my money.
Yeah.
Come back
And
here.
again, are you gonna like dedicate 2 hours to like sitting at Aladdin's buffet and having like a buffet lunch at 1 p.m?
Yeah.
Probably not. This sounds crazy. We would leave the park, go to their Disney Village, the Disney Springs area, and I went to McDonald's and got like the breakfast sandwiches because that was like the closest relatively healthy thing I could get. We came to McDonald's. I got a French exclusive. It's like their croque monsieur, which I think is just ham and cheese on an inside-out bun. It is. That's funny. Otherwise, I really just got breakfast sandwiches.
Transportation from the airport to Disneyland was actually super easy. They have like their own version of the Magical Express. You pre-book it online and you pick it for the day that you want, and they have all the times that the bus leaves all throughout the day. We landed, got our bags, went straight there. Took us about 45 to 50 minutes to get from the airport to the hotel.
How much was it?
Super easy. Like, I want to say 15 to 20 euro per person.
I remember thinking like, this is the best way to get off a 10-hour flight and just know that you're going where you need to
We
go.
can put the link in the description of the video for anybody who needs to take a look at it.
We loved it.
We loved it, and I almost didn't come back. I just wanted to say that you lived in the best place in the world. It was so fun.
We loved it.
We loved it. I took away the tables right here, so we are doing it Epcot style for real on the trash can. You can get the buckwheat crepes that are gluten-free, over at the crepe station, and you can get them on any setting you want. So you want the Nutella, you want the fruit, you want the butter and the brown sugar. They had the same thing, a crepe station at Disneyland Paris. I think it was just for the festival. It looked like a booth that wasn't there all the time. They had the same thing. You can do any crepe on the Buckwheat one. Oh no. I might be too American. I like this better. Whoa.
When we were in Paris, we went to this place called Brèche Cafe, which is like a really elevated, fancy crepe place.
That was better.
With like, I mean like super, super complex elevated things. Like my crepe had like a matcha ice cream with like a soy brown sugar crumble with like a soy sweet sauce on top. It was crazy, really, really crazy stuff going on. And there's like a few of them throughout Paris, but they had a massive gluten-free menu. Same thing, they have buckwheat crepes that are all gluten-free, and Lex was also able to get like some really good stuff there. Was this anywhere in the ballpark?
I forgot about that place. That place blows this out of the water. I was comparing this to the Disneyland Paris one.
No, for
this
sure.
is better than the Disneyland Paris one in my opinion, but the one in the city, that was nothing like I've ever tasted before. That was so good. That one beats this.
Hilariously, I do think Epcot Paris like locks in on what makes Paris so beautiful. Everything out there is like, I love all the hand-painted signage, hand-painted lettering, like every logo is bespoke, and like all that's here. Like I love the colored awnings, and then even like the city architecture, like the round top buildings, you know, the way even here it looks like business on the bottom, residential on top. Every balcony in France has flowers. I don't know how all of Paris decided that they would coordinate flower balconies together, but like it's everywhere. As far as like the vibe goes, Epcot is hilariously on the money. So here's the deal. Obviously this brioche ice cream sandwich at Epcot is like super famous. Everyone's had it except me. I don't eat a ton of ice cream really, so I just haven't done it before. So while we were out there, I was like, okay, I need to know like what is the real version of this before I have the Epcot one, so I know getting into it like what to expect. And this is non-existent in the city of Paris, except one place. Okay, we're at La Romana, where they have like a viral brioche ice cream sandwich. It's not the same as Epcot because it's not pressed shut. I'm having trouble finding that. I don't know if that's just an Epcot thing or if I'm just having trouble with Google. I have 3 scoops of ice cream on this nice, soft brioche toast. And I asked all the ice cream places that we went to a lot of big gelato spots. No one knew what I was talking about, except Haagen-Dazs. One Haagen-Dazs, by the way. There's a lot of Haagen-Dazs, and only one of them had this brioche ice cream sandwich thing. So let's try the Epcot one and see if it's better than Haagen-Dazs. So not only is it probably just because the gelato itself is unbelievably good, but I like this a lot. But I can't say which is better until I get back to Epcot to try those. Knew it, asked them. I was like, are these popular in Paris? And they were like, no, not at all. And I was like, so it's just an Epcot thing? And the guy was like, I've only seen it at Epcot. I knew it. I knew it. I researched too hard and for too long. I knew there was no way this was popular out there. Anyway, the reason I haven't had it here is because it sounds so weird. Ice cream and just brioche bread. It looks good, I guess. Bread and ice cream. Why are we doing this? Trash. As Mr. Johnson from Abbott Elementary would say, trash.
That's trash.
Now I'm gonna get sued for saying that because that's copyrighted by him.
You better lawyer up, kid.
I would never get this again, but I did see they do a macaron ice cream sandwich in there, which did interest me. So if you've had that before, leave a comment. Let me know if that's worth wasting time and money on, because I'd like to try it. Lunch today is at Chefs de France. We don't come here often. It's been a while, and I'm so excited to go because they just got a new chef 7 months ago. So everything's different, new. It's supposed to be really great. Everything on the menu is extremely typical French bistro, so I know at least the things they're serving are gonna be like right on the money. Every time we've been here, I think I've liked it enough.
If we're comparing the atmosphere from the cafes or bistros over there to Chef de France over here, I'll be honest, we were hardly inside any of the cafes or bistros. We sat outside every single time. There was not one outside that we did. However, from the few times I went inside to use the restroom, I feel like it looks the same. The vibe is the same. Like, I would say they did a good job, but you just sat outside most of the time. And here, we are not sitting outside. You guys want to know what were some of the things that we ate at Disneyland Paris that we actually liked? So, Cody, what do we got?
There wasn't a ton. One thing I do remember that I really liked were there were these Mickey waffles in their like Frontierland area, and they were just like reheated Mickey waffles, but they were actually really good. I like them a lot more than the park's Mickey waffles over here, because sometimes they either sit out too long or they overcook and they get like crispy and hollow and dead inside. But these ones were like really waffly. They were like really waffly. I thought they were very good. So that was like a great little snack we had.
I love waffly. I miss waffly. I want him to come back.
That's right. Careful what you wish for. Tell me, what are the other Disneyland things that I had? There was like this cute little Groot cookie that was cute, but not very good, but it was cute. I will say we had one incredible experience at Disneyland Paris that we did not mention earlier. We went to the Marvel Skyline bar at the World of Marvel Hotel. It's like a 4-minute walk. It's like if you're at Epcot and walk to the beach club, that's what it's like getting to their Marvel Hotel. I got this like Doctor Strange time stone drink that comes out in like a chest, and I had to like cast a spell to open it. It was a mocktail. It was incredible. They had great beverages, but I also had like a smoked salmon like spread with like a dill cream cheese on toast, which is like a very French bistro food that I was unaware of. And then we also got some dessert. We really loved that bar. I so highly recommend it. There is a Croque Madame that everyone loves from Main Street. There's like a bakery on Main Street that I tried. It was pretty good, actually. It was really cheap. I do recommend that. And then honestly, the only other dining experience that I think we loved, and I feel bad because I'm making everyone leave the parks, the bar at the Disneyland Hotel, Fleur de Sel, it is like the cutest, most awesome bar. I think it was honestly my favorite place we ate or drunk at all of Disneyland. And it even ranked in all of Paris. Not like the food is so amazing, but the vibe was so awesome. And then I had room service that was also awesome at the Disneyland Hotel. How does this compare to the Disneyland gluten-free bread?
The gluten-free bread came in a packaged thing, and it was like cold and hard, so not great. This one also looks pretty dry, obviously not comparing to the city that actually was amazing. But this is better than what Disneyland Paris had for me. I'm telling you, for a place that the city does so good with gluten-free options, it was such a shock to see the Disneyland Paris just fall so far into not being able to do anything. I can't even get the butter. Oh my God, I'm crazy. This is a knife for a steak. What am I doing? That's not gonna go anywhere. Let's gonna do that. Oh, no. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe like some cheese dip. Cover it.
Fondue?
Like fondue it. Yeah, queso. Like something to like soak it in. Give it some life.
Some queso, she says.
Or if I could have the gluten-free French onion soup and like dip it, that'd be bomb. It's just too dry.
For the rest of us who can process wheat through our digestive systems, we have, I think this is the demi baguette from La Haye. This is just the half baguette portion, which we know is good. I had as many French soups over there, just onion soup, as I could while I was out there. I probably had 3, 4, maybe 5. In America, there's like bad French onion soup, but there's also really good French onion soup. And I felt like even the really good French onion soups out there were extremely comparable to the good ones here. That said, I don't know that this one's going to be good, but if this is very good, I would like to think that it is actually probably pretty comparable to something you would get in France or Paris. The Epcot onion soup, it's really good. That broth is really rich, extremely savory, balanced. I think this is actually a pretty good soup, if you're asking me. If we hadn't just come home from Paris, I probably would have said this is like a 4 out of 5 cotiti head soup, honestly.
All right, comparing the steak frites, one thing to note, it's unlimited, all you can eat at the place you went to, unlimited steak, unlimited French fries. This is not, it's $55, this is what you get. However, I saw this is a big piece of steak, so I get that. The sauce was different. The sauce over there was like a really thin, like more water based, like oil based of green. This is like, she thick, but it looks good. The French fries were much thinner over there. I feel like for this big of a steak, $55, like, okay, I can wrap my head around that. Here we go. Oh God, this is just fat. I don't want that. I hate steak. I hate steak. I literally, like, why? Just have chicken. It's good. The other one blows it out of the water. They were sliced so thin, and they're like melted in your mouth. This is very different, but not bad.
We went to like a French institution, Roi Entrecôte. Not a bad steak. The breadaise is incredible. The steak has a lot of fat in it, but it's pretty good. It is obviously not the same as a bistro steak. I think this is a much nicer cut of steak than what you're getting out on like a bistro sidewalk out there. But if you're coming here, I wouldn't not get it. But I will say everything on this menu is some amalgamation of like every bistro out there. No matter what, you're gonna get something French from the streets, which I think is great. That's the point.
So if you're wondering about the hotel details, we stayed at the Disneyland Paris Hotel, and it was blew me away. First off, it was huge, and we just got a standard room. We didn't get anything fancy, but our room had so much space. It was absolutely gorgeous. The entire hotel, everywhere you walked was beautiful, and you can't really beat just literally walking right down the stairs out the door, and you're the Disneyland's like steps away to the right. The other resorts we kind of drove by, we walked by, and they were fine. Save up your money if you can and do the Disneyland Paris one. It was worth every penny. It was so good. 10 out of 10, no notes, no complaints. Even without the quick service option, it was great.
Separate question, who got Paris better, Epic Universe or Epcot? I would say Epcot feels like it tried to encapsulate Paris into a small pavilion, which is very accurate, but it feels like a small slice of whatever. But sometimes Epic Universe, like the buildings are so tall, and it feels like you actually could be there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's hard though, because while I'm there at Epic, I just feel like I'm at the Ministry of Magic, like Harry Potter, France.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel the same. But yeah, I guess looking at it side by side, I think Epic did it better. They're just, the buildings just like you go in and you are just sucked into that world and you are transported. So I think Epic did it better, but I don't know, I did like getting breakfast early in the morning and just sitting on the patio outside out there.
Their bistro is very bistro.
Yeah, their bistro is very...
I don't know if it's worth comparing or picking, honestly. They're both really cool.
They're
both
so
super
different,
cool.
but they're both very cool. Yeah.
I don't care to weigh in, actually.
We are on our way to Riviera in the Skyliner. We're gonna check out their coffee bar.
Le Petit Café.
Soon we'll be flying past Disney's Boardwalk Inn.
We're gonna head there, which I already have some thoughts, having already been to coffee shops in France, and then I have already been to this coffee shop, but we'll save those thoughts when we get there.
That's it. We're going for dessert, coffee, and that'll be it. We're answering the big question now. This is the question that we got the most, and this is the thing, every time we brought it up to anytime we told someone that we were going to Paris, these were the two things we heard. They're all super rude, and they're going to treat you poorly, and it is the dirtiest, grossest place ever. I have some thoughts. First of all, I think French people are the nicest people I have ever encountered in my life. We met a lot of people. We went a lot of places. We talked to a lot of human beings. We are like very social people. We go out, we meet people, we talk to people, whatever. The absolute most like hospitable people ever.
Now approaching the Skyliner turnstile.
I have to totally agree with that. We got a lot of warning about it. I've been to a few other countries where they were actually much more rude and not nice. There was not one rude person we met. I can't think of one single person we interacted with that was rude or made us feel like we were idiots there. They were so nice, so welcoming, so warm. I don't know if we just got lucky or what. I think you're just supposed to be also nice when you go there, and it might help a little bit.
Yeah, I just feel like people are so outwardly helpful, and I know, I think greeting culture over there is differently. Like, you are definitely supposed to greet, and then you can start a conversation. I really felt like they were the nicest people I've ever met. Now, a lot of people also were like, Paris is so dirty, it's so disgusting. I have a question. Have you ever been to New York City? Have you been to any city in America? I did not find Paris to be dirty or gross at all. Their garbage systems were amazing.
You were over by the Louvre, Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, like those areas, yes. It was at some points of the day, you could see a lot of trash on the floor, but very quickly, within a few hours, it was all cleaned up. Like, it was crazy.
I think about all the people who would say that to me, and I just keep thinking about New York City and how, like, anywhere you walk out of, there is just a wall of garbage because there's like union strikes and they just do not have the infrastructure to keep the city clean. But Paris does.
So it was beautiful, it was clean, oh my gosh.
And if you say all French people are rude, Yes, I am invalidating your experience.
There's rude Americans. There are definitely, I'm sure, some rude
Americans
French people.
are infinitely more rude. Have you ever been to Disney World? We've made it to our little coffee shop dessert place. By the way, not the vibe. It's cool. It's funny. It's actually
It's so funny because
on any other day.
was the vibe.
At any other point in time, this is where I wanted to be. But I think just because we're like comparing one for one, this is not like a Parisian coffee shop, and that's okay. Now we're here to just spill the last little bit of tea and enjoy some desserts. I got some French desserts, which I'm excited about. We got Madeleines, which are like a cross between a cookie and a cake. They have a cakey texture. They should have a nice little crispy exterior, vanilla flavor. They have the hump on top. A little bit of citrus in there also. These have citrus. It's like a little oily, light, airy cake. Wee wee. Dude. Immediately, yes. Lovely.
I am a black coffee drinker. Yes, I'm that annoying person that says, yeah, I drink black coffee. I 100% embody that person. But the Shakerado, it's the espresso with some brown sugar, just shaken up. So good, delightful, refreshing.
Brown sugar or brown sugar syrup? They just throw the powder right in it?
No, I think it's the brown sugar syrup.
Oh, nice. Dude, matcha latte with brown
Okay.
sugar syrup, I bet you would be awesome. So, really quick, I'm going to tell you
Nope.
about my
I just heard what you said. Absolutely not.
matcha latte with brown sugar syrup.
Oh,
Why not?
those are just two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Nope. Anyway, I'm going to tell you my macaron flavors, and then I'll eat them while we answer questions. This is orange marshmallow, which I am absolutely psyched about. Oh, okay. Strawberry jam with this cute little bow on there. Love that. And then this is an espresso ganache. It's a nice chocolatey espresso one. Okay, let's get into it.
What does Disneyland Paris have that we wish? The arcade things. The arcade things on Main Street. Okay, getting out of Main Street, especially at the end of the night, goes from the happiest place on earth to hell on earth. I understand that they do open up the two sides.
Crazy tagline. Someone put that on a shirt. That is so good. I can't believe you just thought of that off the top of your head.
So usually they open up the two sides backstage and then you can walk back there, and they'll do that at some point. But what they have on Main Street are the two arcades, and it's like lined up with like the shop. So imagine going into the shop and going out the back, and you're in this covered area and you can exit the park that way. It's amazing. I love them. They're genius. Florida needs them, especially with the heat, because people walk through the stores all the time to escape the heat. If they just had those arcades on either other side, and with the rain, which is why Paris got it because of the rain, but leaving the park would just be so helpful if we had those. Like that, I think, is the number one thing I want here. Absolutely.
It was genius.
Oh, it was so cool. And they're just fun to hang out in.
Their Space Mountain. Lex loves our Space Mountain.
Our Space Mountain.
Precious. Get rid of it. Bring in any other Space Mountain, first of all. The outside of this one, I have to have taken 100 pictures of it. It's the coolest thing ever. It's like a giant steampunk telescope that you launch out of into the Thunderdome. I loved it. I was obsessed with their Space Mountain. Their Small World was awesome, but Phantom Manor, dude, so good. Amazing. I know I wouldn't replace our Haunted Mansion with it, but I would have it as a second mansion.
You cannot replace our Haunted Mansion, first off, no. And you can't replace our Space Mountain. And here's the thing, we had Hyperspace Mountain at Disneyland. And even though this Hyperspace Mountain was so cool and is amazing, and you go upside down, the Hyperspace Mountain at Disneyland, I don't know what it is about that Space Mountain at Disneyland is the best Space Mountain. It reigns supreme. So for that reasoning, it's like, it wasn't good enough to replace. Like, I would honestly give up our Space Mountain for Disneyland Space Mountain. I would. I would be okay with that, but only that one. Their Tower of Terror was the freakiest, craziest, scariest SHIT I've ever been on. I got off that ride.
I was scared.
And I was like, I need to go cleanse myself from these spirits that have haunted me. It was crazy. It was so good. It was so cool. The little girl in there gave me the heebie-jeebies. It was so amazing. I loved it. But again, don't touch our Tower of Terror. I love our Tower of Terror. I don't think there's one ride I want over here to replace ours. I really don't.
Okay, how about this? Their little storybook.
Of course I'd
Would you bring that over here? Or what about the Alice Labyrinth? Love the Alice Labyrinth. Awesome.
Oh, that was cool too. Yes, yeah. Their Fantasyland. Okay, how about this? Their entire Fantasyland. The best Fantasyland I've been on, even over Disneyland.
Dragon under the castle,
Pick it
dude.
up, drop it into our Fantasyland. Yeah, the entire Fantasyland. You can replace
I'd like to keep our mine train.
I would get rid of that. Pick up the entire Fantasyland, drop it over here. That's the best. That's what I would do. Yes.
Yeah. Here's my breakdown of time needed in the parks. I would say one day you could do all of the must-dos, but not everything. In 2 days, I feel like you could see a lot of everything. In 3 days, I think you could hit 100% every ride, every show. You can do every restaurant, but you could see everything. Whereas like at Disney World, I'd be like, if you're here for 1 day, you're cooked. You're going to one park, best of luck. Over there, you could do the best of both parks in 1 day for sure. Until they open that new Frozen Land next year.
Then you need 4.
Because that's gonna be, no, probably 3 still. All right, you have 1 day. This is what you cannot miss. You must do the Lion King show. You have to do Crush's Coaster. You have to do Space Mountain. You have to do Phantom Manor. You have to do Small World. Indiana Jones was a skip.
Oh, so bad.
If you care about Backlot movie ride or whatever it was, the Backlot tour, they redid it Cars style. I would see the Cars thing for that.
If you're only picking one show, as much as I love The Lion King, skip that and go to Mickey and the Magician because that made me sob uncontrollably. Sob.
Mickey and the Magician was good.
The best show I've ever seen.
Dragon Under the Castle, you got to see that. It's just a walk through.
Yeah. And I think the Tower of Terror, the creepiest thing I've ever been on. You should do that. That was
Tower
so
of
cool.
Terror.
It was so good.
Oh, and the last one I would say, the Marvel roller coaster. The Marvel Mission Adventures, what is it?
Tony Stark's one. That one was okay. You could skip that. You could pass that. Honestly, I wasn't impressed.
The only reason I say do it is because they don't have it anywhere else.
Yeah.
It is Rock and Roller Coaster, but with Iron Man and Captain Marvel. Everything else you can get away with not seeing probably if you're only there for a day.
If you're concerned about the rides being in English in France, the perfect example is the Ratatouille ride here at Epcot. It's half in French, half in English, and that's exactly how every single ride and every single show was. Even the shows, Mickey spoke in French, and then every other character spoke in English. So he would respond in French, and they'd respond in English, so you knew exactly what was happening. I loved it. It was exactly like the Ratatouille ride.
Well, time to answer the question. Who did Paris better, Epcot or Paris?
I feel like this was a loss right away.
Paris.
You don't have to figure it out. Paris did it better.
But Epcot did a great job.
It did do a great
We
job.
had a super fun day. We ate amazing meals. We had amazing snacks. A very small percentage of them were bad, which is pretty good considering sometimes like everything we eat is bad here.
Yeah. I definitely go through the pavilion now with a different mindset. I appreciate everything. So it did a great job with it, but
New perspective.
a little bit. But it was a good time. All it did though was really make me absolutely so sad
Yeah.
and want to go back.
I do
So-
appreciate it a lot more. Anyway, I hope we answered all of your questions. If you have any more questions, ask them in the comments. We'll reply and answer all your Disneyland Paris questions, all of your Paris questions. And if you like this video, please make sure to go to our website, thelostbros.com, and buy a t-shirt because that's what pays for all of these fun things that we get to do. And we will see you next week for, I don't know what the episode is, but we'll be there, I bet.
Okay, I'm gonna go cry now. Bye.